see you. Thank you. Well, I don't know if you know what's been going on. Clearly, everyone is very excited to be at this panel. I'm going to start because we don't have a lot of time. You are here for the Paul panel, so please freak out in all sorts of wonderful, energetic ways. Because the lineup that I'm about to introduce to you, if your brain doesn't melt through your eyes, it will be shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the panel of Paul. I would like to introduce your director. You may have heard of the film Superbad. He directed it. It's Greg Matolla as the character of Graham Willie, co-writer of the film, Mr. Simon Pegg. The other co-writer of the film as Clive Gollings, Mr. Nick Frost is here as well. Playing the character of Azoil is Mr. Jason Bateman is here. As the character of Haggard is Mr. Bill Hader. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sigourney Weaver. You're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong. Appreciate your enthusiasm. Playing the character of Shadow Child, Mr. Jeffery Tambor. The next actor who plays the character of O'Reilly, I've known him for many years. Maybe you've heard of The Skate, Mr. Joe Latrulio. There is a little matter of the title character of the film. Paul himself is the voice of Mr. Seth Rogen! Guys.
You're hot! You're hot!
Seth, I don't know if you're aware of this. You're hot. You're hot, according to this lady right here. This is insane. I mean, I can't even believe I'm on the stage with all of these amazing performers. I just want to start with Simon and Nick. Where did the idea come from to do this film?
Well, we were shooting a little film called Shaun of the Dead. I'm really glad you cheered then, because it would have been really embarrassing if you just... Cheap gag. Well, I was just trying to get some applause. We were shooting in the garden. We were doing the scene in Shaun of the Dead when we're throwing records at zombies, and the weather was so bad, the weather was so erratic that Naira Park, our producer, said, can't we shoot something somewhere that's sunny the whole time? And so Nick and I just spitballed this idea of an alien, and there was a desert, and there was this and that. And then 7 years later, here we are. Here we are.
So is this the first film that you and Nick have actually written together? You didn't write the other ones?
Well, we've written, this is the first film we've written together, but we've written lots of weird sketches and sitcoms which kind of got commissioned and then never got commissioned and we never did them. But this was the first thing that we saw through to the end.
Yeah.
To the climax, if you will.
Now, something that I was reading in the 900-page press kit was that you guys actually, you took a trip across the United States just to see what was out there, when you were preparing for the film. So, what was that trip like?
Yeah, we did. We did a road trip. We did the journey that's in the film from sort of California down to where did we end up? Wyoming.
Yeah.
And because we felt like we wanted to get to know America, and if we wanted to write about it, we had to know it. So we did the tour in an RV and had an incredible adventure. And a lot of what happened to us on that trip is in the film, including meeting an alien.
That's pretty sweet.
The thing about doing a road trip in America as well in an RV is you draw the route that you'd like to take on a big map. And it doesn't look that far. And then after you've been driving for 10 hours the first day and you realise you've kind of gone a centimetre, you realise that you kind of have to think about moving your flights because it just takes so long to travel across America.
It's a big country.
You don't realize it because you think there are hundreds of millions of people in America, and then you just get to these stretches where there's nothing.
Well, we went like a whole day and didn't see a single soul. We saw one old woman on crutches hitchhiking. That was it, in like hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Did you offer her a ride?
No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't. So how did you get Greg Matolla on board?
He was available.
I think after Tommy Wiseau passed.
We saw Superbad and we loved the way that Greg directed it. And comedy isn't just about pointing a camera at funny people. There needs to be humor within the direction. And Greg just framed that film so beautifully that we decided he was the man for us. No.
Good. First of all, why are you so awesome? That's my first question. I don't know. I mean,
You can have a chocolate for that.
thank you. A little kiss from Jason Bateman. Second of all, you play the character of Lorenzo Zoil. Just think about that for a second, people. It took me a second too, Lorenzo Zoil. What is? But this seems like a little bit different of a role for you, because normally, you play this really sweet, nice guy, that is kind of surrounded by this world of craziness, and you're kind of the badass of this movie. You're sort of a hunter.
Yes, in this I get to play the bad guy. I am. I don't know how much we're allowed to say about this movie of ours, Paul.
Nothing.
Not much.
Nothing.
Not much up until Paul dies at the end. You can't say anything. What?
Yeah, dead. No. I play the bad guy. I play the guy in Hot Pursuit. If anybody here liked Midnight Run, I basically play Yaphet Kotto minus about 100 pounds and a lighter skin. That's about it.
Yeah. And then Bill Hader, you and Latrulio are sort of the backup guys to Zoil.
Yeah, we're kind of like Peter Coyote and E.T., except not just the crotch and the keys. You get to see our whole face and stuff, which is good. We're kind of just stoked about the idea of being like FBI agents, kind of, right?
Yeah, like kind of an Abbott and Costello type of.
Yeah, right. It's just me playing a long line of bad authority figures in Greg Matolla movies.
Does Greg let you guys improvise a lot, or is he like, no, stick to the script or I will break you?
Right, yes. He must be stupid.
Sigourney Weaver, I read the script. I know. Come on.
Sigourney Weaver, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't be a straight. Yeah, I know. I mean, every time you just want to stand up and give her a standing ovation. Have you been to Comic-Con before? I mean, 4 Aliens, 2 Ghostbusters. I mean, you've probably been to Comic-Con before, right? And Avatar.
Avatar was a comedy. Well, no, I love comedy, and I was thrilled and overjoyed to be working with this ensemble. I was a big fan of Simon and Nick's and Greg and Jason's and Bill's and everybody. I was a big fan of everybody here, and so to suddenly find myself in this incredibly witty, moving, exciting movie was really a thrill for me.
Now you're kind of a voice for part of it. So did you not get to go out and shoot with everyone, or were you separated from the cast in that way?
An actor learns to put everything into one's voice when one has to, and so I did that. But I do appear eventually, and I play a very glamorous, pivotal figure.
Kind of a badass, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, no,
That's
seriously.
what I was going for.
Jeffery Tambor, honestly, if I just had any one of you, this would be an insane panel, but the entire matrix of all of you together is mind-blowing. You play, it's Shadow Child, right?
Adam Shadowchild. He's a science fiction writer, and he's pompous, and he's an ass. It's a stretch for me to play this role.
So how long did you get to work on the film? In the trailer that I actually saw there was it was the exterior of Comic-Con that you guys shot at, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it really is like part of it takes place at the con.
Well,
So
when I was at Comic-Con many years ago with Max Headroom. And so, but it's changed now. But what was your question?
why are you so
I
awesome as
haven't
well?
heard anything. I haven't been able to hear anything for 20 minutes. I've just been smiling here. This is anyhow. Go ahead.
I know like every fourth word I'm hearing. So if I answer something weird, it's because I'm constructing this weird narrative around what you guys are saying.
We went on the set in the set in Albuquerque, and we did sort of an homage to Comic-Con. But I think these people are great, and I think this movie does them proud because we're your big fans.
So What I heard was, I rode tiny people and horses in Albuquerque. That's all I heard from what I'm
That's
saying.
exactly what I said.
Seth Rogen, you play Paul. You're Paul. You're the guy that the film is named after. So what was it? Because you're CG character in the movie. So you must have had to act in that. I call it a CG-otard, that green suit. Is that what you had to act in the movie?
I studied with Andy Serkis for years, and a little bit of Doug Jones, just for good measure. I was asked by Matolla to look at the movie, and I was thrilled by how funny it was and the group of people in it, and then I was told I would be wearing a spandex costume for a week with sensors all over my body, and I would be turned into an alien, and it was an alien who did disgusting, horrible things that I find hilarious. So I was excited to get to take this technology that many very smart people have spent a very long time developing and pretend to jack off with it, basically.
Yeah, that's funny.
So what I'd love to do is, just because I want to make sure there's enough time for the fans to ask questions, Simon and Nick, you guys want to introduce a kind of a sizzle reel from the film? I mean, if you guys want to see a sizzle reel from the movie Paul, then it's entirely up to you.
You're about to see 3 minutes and 30 seconds of Paul, and it's a thing we cut together specially for Comic-Con for you guys. Paul himself, you're going to see Paul. He's about 99, maybe 95% complete. He's obviously quite a sophisticated effect, so we're going to be working on him until next year, really. But we wanted something to show you, and I think you're going to like it. Nick, have you got anything to say?
It's our love letter to all of you, really. So we hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, let's see Paul.
Do you think he'll be okay?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Now I think we're going to be able to open it up to the floor. I think we open up to the floor so people actually can ask questions at a microphone rather than having to shout out. So do we have? Okay, there we go. Right over there. Hello. What is your name?
Hey, my name is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing?
I'm good. Let's not have a conversation though. What's your question?
Great. My question for both of you is, what was the defining moment in both of your lives that inspired you to pursue a career in film?
Oh dear.
Wow, that's a big question.
This feels like the world's biggest AA meeting all of a sudden. You want to go first?
I think my mum was very into amateur dramatics, and I kind of, followed along with her, and then suddenly I'm in a film. And it was, just growing up around people that were creative, and, I wanted to do the same thing, I guess. So I don't think there was one defining moment, apart from when the ghost of Shakespeare knocked on my bedroom door. It was just kind of something I fell into, I guess.
I think for me, there were a couple of things. Meeting Simon when I was 21 years old. Before meeting Simon, I was a bit of a thick thug. And now I'm a slightly smarter thug. But also, I reached 30 years old and I was tired of being Ed, and I pulled my finger out of my butt, and I, started to take life a bit more seriously.
Do that sound effect again. Nice.
Okay,
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.